to show you is why I'm making these pots and the technique I use. Salt glaze, I mean, that's the method I work, and every one of us craftsmen, every potter's got a different technique they use. Salt glaze generates this orange peel texture. You've got lovely breaking on lines, so that these lines are incised in the pots, all the edges break, so it gives you these yummy textures. Salt glaze is very, very much about textures. Now come over here, look at this. This is absolutely classic brown orange peel. Nutty browns, silky, the iron speckle, little iron pyrites in the clay, generates these lovely, lovely little spots. Now I will employ the same thing on doing big, lavish sillies. And no, big and lavish and silly it may be, but this big fish dish, I want it to be used. I still want that to inspire people to fill it. Fruits de mer, a big sort of seafood salad, maybe not at this scale, but a couple of lobsters would go down very nicely in that. Now, if it will inspire people to do that, then as a maker, I really have achieved something. I don't want them behind glass, I want them used. Now that's full of food, now there's a banquet. These are known in this institution as wicked little sauce boats, and they are exclusively for wicked little sauces. I want something jaunty that will inspire you, even if it's just if you're putting tomato ketchup into this little baby, why not? Tomato ketchup in there becomes banquet food. It's not just red splodge. And that's what I see the pots doing. If I'm playing something silly, like doing this salmon dish, then I'll actually incise positive texture and then let the salt melt, break the edges and just show all the scales. This is the nearest I get to art, where I'm actually depicting something. Otherwise I'm purely a craftsman. I only think of myself as a craftsman. But when I did this jug, this was somebody asking for a fat belly jug with a leaping fish. And the reason I put a leaping fish onto the handle was sheer naughtiness. I just thought it would really be a great practical joke.
Is that where it started?
That's how it started. And as a practical joke, it was a winner. Everyone said they wanted one.
And it adds character.
I firmly believe in practical jokes and doing things that are silly. I once did one of these fish with just the bones. Head, tail and bones in between. It didn't last 3 months. People said it's silly, and then one person walked in and said, that's silly, I'm having it. And that then leads you on to think of more possibilities and more ideas. And so I really often encourage youngsters that if you've got a silly idea, go with it.
So your idea is getting sillier, do you think?
Allowing the silliness. We are mostly trained and brought up to act sensibly and do things logically. Well, the logic is that if it amuses me, it'll amuse someone else. Ah, that one. Bread crock. No problem, but you can also sit on it. It's a seated bread crock. That was because we needed a seated, a 8th person at dinner had to sit on the bread crock, and the old one had a great big knob on it. Boy, did it hurt. These hedgehogs, these chaps were some waste clay that I had. I used to make hedgehogs for the children, and people kept asking for them and buying them if I had them around the place, so I thought I must clear up all this waste clay, so I made them into a bunch of hedgehogs. And what I am determined this time is that I'm going to have some families, because I've got these little babies, and I've got a little baby and a little baby brother and a mummy and daddy, and I will sell them as a group to go into someone's garden. I believe that those things will give huge amounts of pleasure to somebody. It'll take them more into their garden, get them more involved with their gardens, and just give them a better life.